Hello and welcome to the Million Dollar Moves Show, the real raw business coaching experience where I'm taking you behind the scenes of the life, business, and growth experiment that will inevitably lead to $1 million a year online business. Whether you're a seasoned CEO or a beginning entrepreneur, this show is built to help inspire your $1 million move. Each week, I'll bring you new actionable tips, expert strategic shifts, and interviews with industry leaders that you can apply in your own journey to create the online business that you've been dreaming of. I'm your host and resident real raw business coach, new mom, and garden guru, Haley Passy, and I can't wait to take this journey with you. So let's get started. Hello, $1 Million Moves Club. It's up. Happy Tuesday. Today's conversation, it's gonna shift a lot of things for a lot of you. We're going to chat about some really important stuff. You need, if you're going to reach $1 million ever in your business, right? Not just this year, but ever, right? So you guys know you're in here. We're doing the $1 million experiment. I'm updating you on all the $1 million moves that are happening inside of my world every Friday. That's happening. These hot takes with Hale are kind of like this little thing that I've been practicing for a while. Sometimes it's like I've been practicing this my entire business. Sometimes it's like I've been practicing this for like the past 2-3 weeks. This is one of the things that I've been practicing for a while. And I know that this is something that you need. This is something I'm always communicating with my clients. This is something I'm always speaking to the people in my world about. So we've talked about decision. The last hot take, we talked about decision. You need to decide. If you want the thing, decide you get to have it, right? But in combination with that, there's this really important piece that's going to affect both your energy and your strategy, right? It's going to affect every other piece of your business. And it works in tandem with that decision. We need to talk about self-belief and identity, okay? If your self-belief isn't at the level that it needs to be, if you identify as somebody who doesn't get to have what they want, if you identify as somebody who doesn't grow, as somebody who doesn't have a successful business, right? And that's what your identity is, that's what's comfortable for you. So when decisions come up, when those micro moments of choosing whether you're going to sell today or not, following up with your potential client, of writing the post, the spicy post you know you want to post, you're going to choose differently than the $1 million version of you would. I want to challenge you to suspend disbelief for a little bit. I want you to suspend this, like, okay, I don't know if I can. No more not knowing, right? Bring that decision back. Bring the identity in. Bring the self-belief in. Let's do this thing and believe for a little bit. Just pretend. Get a little delusional with me, right? That Elle Woods energy that I talk about all the time. What, like it's hard? Of course I got into Harvard. Of course I am a killer lawyer, even though previously I was a fashion major, right? Like, it doesn't matter. You get to shift your identity right now, right here. What is the new identity that you are stepping into? Are you a successful business owner? Are you someone who makes sales every day? Are you someone who believes in herself completely and wholly? Okay. So I want to give you an example of this. I know, and I identify as a successful coach. I am a successful CEO and a successful coach. I also know, and I identify as somebody who always creates results in her world. My clients always get results. Guess how that shapes the way I show up? Instead of being apologetic about my content, instead of being apologetic about how I sell, instead of having any hint of like, maybe I shouldn't be doing this, people pleasing, none of that shiz. Not here. Not here. I am showing up. This offer is going to change your life. I know for a fact, if you join us inside of the monetized container, you are working on launching, fully launching, getting to consistent 5K months in your coaching business or even as a service provider. If you join us inside of monetize, you're going to monetize your magic. I know that. You are going to start making money from your magic. You are going to start getting paid. I know that. So guess what? When I sell, that comes through. right? Those micro moments, choosing to send the email, choosing to follow up with people, choosing to send out the link, choosing to have conversations, all the little micro moments that are happening throughout the day that are the catalyst for quantum leaps are happening from that belief. I know that if you decide to join us inside of the Profitable Purpose Mastermind, you are going to have exact foundation that you need to create consistent 5-figure months or multiple 5-figure months. I know that, just depending on like where you slide on the self-belief scale. I'm giving you everything you need to know, and I'm supporting you with the transformation that's going to take place. And in the micro moment, as I'm selling this, as I'm speaking to people in the DMs about it, as I'm sharing it with you, you get to feel that belief, but you also get to see me show up with the consistency and commitment of someone who believes that everyone in her containers gets to have the transformation that they desire, gets to have the transformation they show up for. Do you see this? The hot takes of the hill is really hot today, right? So if you don't believe you get to have more, if you don't believe you get to make more money, if you don't believe you get to make more sales, if you don't believe you get to have more clients, or if you believe that more is hard and you identify as somebody who shies away from hard, who needs this, if you identify as that person, like you're not going to push your edges. You're not going to push the edges that are required for your quantum leap. You're just not. If you want a quantum leap, you got to push the edges, baby. So I want you to imagine yourself as a rubber band, okay? And your rubber band moves kind of with you, right? Your movement is pushing and stretching the rubber band, but you're pushing and you're stretching the bounds of that rubber band. Have you ever like stretched a rubber band really hard? And then all of a sudden you're like, oh, it's looser now. Oh, it's bigger now. It has more capacity now. You get to do that, okay? And if your rubber band snaps, you get a new one, right? Guess what? If your rubber band snaps, you're letting in even more capacity than you previously had. You get to push the edges, and almost like a slingshot, when you push the edges, the quantum leap occurs. All right, you guys getting this visual? But if you don't believe you get to have more, you're not going to push your edges. You're not going to push your edges. Your self-belief doesn't only shape those micro moments and the habits that you're building. Your identity doesn't just shape those things. Also, obviously shapes your strategy, right? You're doing what you've always done, or you're doing the bare minimum, or you're trying to spaghetti strategy things together because you don't actually believe that you get to have what you want. You don't identify as somebody who gets to have what they want. And therein lies the problem. Therein lies the problem, okay? You're doing the bare minimum because you're afraid you don't get to have it. You're keeping yourself away from the action and the clarity of your strategy because you're afraid you're going to put in all this effort and it's not going to work. This gets to shift when you're like, no, I always get what I want. No, I identify as that person who gets what they want. Your self-belief, your identity shapes the strategy for you. I want to share with you the marketing and sales system that has made me and my clients millions of dollars online. If you want the secret to creating high cash months and you are so ready for a framework that's going to help you do it, I have a free 3-part masterclass just for you. Check it out in the link below. It's called the Money Moves Masterclass. I can't wait for you to watch. So you're not doing the things that you know are going to expand you. Again, in those micro moments, you're not allowing yourself to set up the structure and the strategy. You're not allowed, right? So because you are afraid that it's not going to work out, there's this little fear in the back of your brain that's like, oh my gosh, I'm going to put in all this effort. And we hate to do all of the work and then be like, didn't happen, right? But what if every ounce of work you put in, you started to see it as like tipping the scales in your favor? Eventually, the straw that breaks the camel's back, the drop of water that opens the floodgates is going to happen for you. So instead of seeing it as, oh my gosh, I'm going to put in all this work and it's not going to work out, start seeing it as the momentum build. Start seeing it as inevitable. When we stop adding straw when we stop adding water, when we stop expanding, the momentum stops. Stops. And sometimes we have to be in like, we're sharks, just so you know. In business, you're a shark. And I love sharks. I think they're so cool. But you have to keep moving. If you're not moving, you're dying. Right? And this isn't like for you to buy into hustle culture, but this is for you to buy into the fact you need to continue to create the clarity and continue to move and continue to have a self-belief and identity that's going to help you keep moving forward, right? So another thing that's probably happening in your world right now, because you don't have a self-belief or identity that you need to have in order to quantum leap, in order to make $1 million moves, if you're not investing in the spaces that are going to refine you. You're not investing in the spaces to refine because you, again, believe that it doesn't get to work for you. Maybe you're investing in like $111 masterclasses. You're showing up in like these little micro containers, right? And you're showing up for those and you're listening to the content, but you're not actually moving forward with them because you're like, I don't actually get to have this transformation. So I'm investing to like chill my ego, or I'm showing up, but I don't get to have the transformation, so I'm not going to actually integrate, right? You need to be, if you want the expansion, if you want the $1 million moves, if you want to quantum leap your self-belief and identity and make that mental shift that's going to shape your strategy and that's going to shape those micro moments, it's going to shape every piece. You need to be investing in spaces that refine you. Spaces like monetize, the mini mind. Spaces like the profitable purpose, mastermind. If you're ready for 20 to 30K months or more, my one-on-one is for you. But you need to be investing in spaces like that. Not just money, but time, energy, effort to create the new identity that you get to have, the things that you want, that you actually get to have the transformation that you invested in the container for, okay? You'll create a solid game plan and the execution pieces when you allow yourself to finally believe that it's going to happen. You'll allow yourself to do that. And it will come together really beautifully. And it won't feel heavy. It won't feel hard. Because when you believe, oh my gosh, I get to have this transformation, you're much more likely it's getting closer. You're much more likely to actually be tapped in. You're much more likely to actually be able to, like, you have that belief, you have that identity. You're much more likely to be like, okay, I'm going to choose the things that are expansive and exciting. And expansive, the combination of it expansive and exciting is a catalyst for quantum leaps. It's a catalyst for you being able to maintain momentum, keep moving forward. Like a shark, right? And I want you to start thinking of sharks as like, they're doing the thing, right? And they just do it because it's life, right? It is getting closer, right? So what I want to leave you with, right before I talk to you about options, before I tell you about what I got for you, belief leads to action and action leads to results. So right now, if you look at the results you're creating, if you look at your circumstances, what beliefs have shaped? What identity have you been tapping into that is shaping those results? What needs to shift? What needs to shift? And if you want to share inside of the group, please do. I would love to see where you're shifting today. I know this was a short and sweet live, but you guys, I love when I get to see the magic that you're creating on the end of the Leaf Lives, because this really is like the most potent little container that I can offer you right now. Okay. So that being said, you guys, I've talked about monetize. I've talked about the profitable purpose mastermind. I've talked about one-on-one. If you are ready to step into that self-belief and identity and actually have the structure and strategy that's going to allow you to make big moves, you need to be in one of those containers. If you are laying the foundation for consistent 5K months right now, you're laying your business foundation, you want to learn how to launch effectively, you want to learn how to monetize your magic, guys, this is for you. You want to learn how to get paid for the brilliance that you bring to the table consistently. Monetize, the mini mind is for you. It's currently on pre-sale. Drop the word monetize for the details. If you want to scale to 5-figure or even multiple 5-figure months, and you're ready for the marketing and sales system that brings dream clients into your DMs on repeat, and you're ready to calibrate to that next level identity and self-belief, the Profitable Purpose Mastermind is for you. If you're ready for even more, you are ready to take your 30 to 50 to 80K and turn it into multiple six figures in 2024. And you're ready to be supported by a coach who's able to help you scale and see your brilliance in a whole new light, my one-on-one is free. You can drop the word "ask" for the details on it. All right, my friends, I love you. I hope you have a fabulous day. I'd love to hear your biggest takeaway. All right, my friends, I'll see you again very soon.